a land of lush tropical gardens, brilliant blue waters, friendly locals and ancient culture. Vanuatu is 800 kilometres west of Fiji. Made up of 83 islands, Vanuatu's landscape features dense jungle, natural harbours, pristine beaches and smaller coral islands. Port Vila, the island's national capital, is located on Vanuatu's main island, Afate, and is the region's main tourist hub. Vanuatu is renowned for its beautiful subtropical climate, with what seems like endless sunshine, clear blue skies and mild temperatures. Vanuatu's weather is enjoyable almost all year round, with only a few months of the whole year characterised by cooler, drier climate. As the summer months are also part of the tropical cyclone season, most of the resorts are located in the south, where humidity is lower, there is less rainfall and the chances of extreme weather and climate conditions are much slimmer.
The sea is growing increasingly violent, the waves already smashing against the shore. Trees are helpless in the wind and some streets are inundated with water. This is Category 5 Cyclone Pam approaching Vanuatu. Alice Clements is working with UNICEF Pacific in Port Vila. She says since arriving a couple of days ago, she's seen locals gathering supplies and preparing their homes.
We saw a woman who had walked half an hour to go and buy some nappies for her granddaughter, and then she was heading straight back to go and seek shelter as best she could.
And where are these people seeking shelter? What kind of structures can they take shelter in there?
Yeah, that's a bit problematic here, actually. The buildings are not necessarily, especially traditional shelters. They're light woods and thatched roofs and things like that, which really have no chance in a storm like this.
Augustine Garay says power, water and communications could be down for a number of days.
We are looking at possibly after the cyclone has passed, we can maybe find some ways, some means to get contacted with the communities, the provincial authorities.
Vanuatu's National Disaster Management Office has been sending alerts to people via text message as well as using the radio for warnings. David Gibson is the acting director of Vanuatu's Weather Bureau. He says at its centre, Cyclone Pam will pack winds of up to 230 kilometres an hour.
The system will not make landfall. It will be just to the east based on the forecast.
Have you seen this size of cyclone before in Vanuatu?
No. If we get hurricane force winds, as per the forecast and as per the warnings, it will be very destructive.
Cyclone Pam is expected to pass about 50 kilometres from Vanuatu later tonight.
But that other building, the roof on it is still holding on somehow. So. Yeah, now it's turned direction, so it means it's passing at least. Ah, the roof on that house is. Can you see? And half of this, oh, look at this, it's ripped off, ripped off completely. What about Nathan's house? I can't see his roof. His roof seems to be fine, although I cannot see it properly. Shit.
A week on from Cyclone Pam, and communities in Vanuatu are on the brink of running out of food and water as aid agencies and local authorities grapple with the immense need. The Vanuatu government estimates that more than 100,000 people have been made homeless, and not all communities in its far-flung island yet have been reached. Foreign Minister Julie Bishop is expected to visit Vanuatu this weekend to see what further help Australia can offer. Zoe Daniel filed this report from Vanuatu, where many people told her they've almost exhausted their remaining supplies.
Heavy tropical cyclone warning number 27 below Sixfla province blaming along Vanuatu about tropical cyclone Pam, where he hit him.
Under the majestic banyan trees on the northern tip of Afate sits this primary school. Its buildings mostly stood up to Cyclone Pam's brutal force. But the homes of the people from the nearby village of Paunang Nisu were no match for her fury. The storm that struck a week ago today has left the people shocked, homeless and unsure of what to do next.
I know I'm homeless now. My house had gone, my home had gone. I know I've lost many things. So it's going to be a lot of work. I started thinking of what I'm going to do after the cyclone. It's like starting off with nothing.
Cooper is one of more than 100,000 people now homeless in Vanuatu. That's almost half of the country's population. His job as a teacher is also on hold until the school is repaired. About 300 children go to this school. Now, most of them were sent home, but the teachers stayed with their own children and they sheltered through the storm in this building here. While they were in there, the cyclone tore the roof off the school. And if you come into the classroom here, you can see the extent of the damage. The roof has just been swept off. Now, these kids are here cleaning up their own classroom in bare feet with no gloves. There's broken glass and debris everywhere. And they're doing that because they want to get back to school, and there's real concern that it could be months or longer before children get back to school here. Now, out this side, you can see where all that debris has gone. It's come off the roof and it's been swept into the trees there. And also on the grass, we have wet books and learning materials, all ruined by the storm. It will be at least a few months before children get back to school here. Right now, there are more urgent problems. At community after community, we're told that food and drinking water will last only a few more days.
Is the water good?
It's not safe to drink and cook. We just use it for laundry and toilet.
Here, they're already eating bats and birds.
So sad. They too want to leave, but somehow, since they are under our management, so we just have to kill.
It's a common story. Food here comes mostly from small gardens, but they've been completely wiped out and will take months or years to re-establish. Sonny Kalman and his family still have a home.
During the storm, I was inside here and holding this door with a box here.
This big heavy trunk.
Yeah.
Well, it was up against the door, was it?
Was up against the door, and I stand on top of it, and I hold on to this piece of food here, because when the wind was blowing this way, it started to lift this side up.
So you were holding the roof on?
Yeah.
For how long?
For 6 hours. Yeah.
You were doing that for 6 hours?
Yeah.
But then he emerged to find this, his livelihood in ruins. Describe what the storm was like when you were in the house.
The storm, I would say that it's very rough and wild.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like a beast.
Like a beast?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing left to eat but fallen fruit, and there's nothing left to sell either.
Without my garden, I don't know how will I survive.
It gets worse. Some communities like this one near the coast are dealing with more than wind damage. Wind gusts of more than 300 kilometres an hour are one thing, but what's happened here in Takara is a storm surge more than 8 metres high. Now that's come in from the ocean and it's taken out all the buildings that were behind me. Housing and the debris has been pushed this way. The ocean stopped about here and you can see everything that it's left. This created a type of dam and the water all then went that way and took most of the village with it.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, very powerful, more than cyclone. Yeah.
In Port Vila, power, water and phones are mostly back on. And the clean-up is well underway. But delicate negotiations between a government determined to control aid delivery and agencies desperate to move supplies are causing delays and frustration. There's much that needs rescuing here, and there are many willing helpers. In the days after the storm, with communications down, Michael and his staff simply drove around looking for people who needed help.